Hello. How are we doing? Yeah, it's a little crooked, eh? It's a little crooked. Let's see. We do that. Better. That'll do. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, water's really low. That's weird. All the rain we've been having, and the water is so low. Life is weird sometimes, eh? It looks still a little angled, eh? Yeah, well, whatever. You'll survive. I'll survive. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow fill today. Even with me blocking the pipe off, it's just coming out slowly. But that's okay, because what else am I gonna do today? Well, I'll have a few little plans, but nothing big. Oof. Oh yeah, it's really dribbling. Oh, now a little faster. Because when I stop it, it builds up back there, and now it's coming out faster. So, how's it going, everyone? How's it going over there? Things are good here in Thailand. Opening up. Only thing is bars aren't allowed, and I think like entertainment type venues aren't allowed. Definitely not bars, because the bars around my mom's place, there's a million of them, are shut. I love it. It's so quiet. But, you know, people out of work and all that, it's not so good. I understand. I've been reading and watching a lot of interesting things, actually. Mostly from Benjamin Boyce, Eric Weinstein for sure, and Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying, not sure. Listen to good things from Sam Harris. Listen to who else? Oh, there's some others out there. Really interesting. Oh, John McWhorter. Pretty interesting stuff that are a little bit counter, or I wouldn't say counter to what's the force of things in North America are right now, but bringing I think a deeper perspective, but also maybe a counter perspective. So right now there's over there, if you don't know, all my Thai friends, they're going nuts over in North America, or actually the States and Canada. It's probably Mexico's sensible. You know, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they're going batshit crazy. But anyway, a lot of stuff about race, right? Oh yeah, it's an issue, that's for sure. But a lot of people talking about white supremacy, white privilege, and white fragility. Right. I'll go backwards. Okay, so I made the mistake of commenting on a friend's post on white fragility, which is this Professor Beverly D'Angelo? Something D'Angelo. So I said, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna ask my rancher friends about white fragility and see what they have to say. That's just cheeky and silly. Anyway, I kind of took it off, but I did leave a video with this great video with Benjamin Boyce and Lisa Marchiano. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I'm sure none of them watched it because it's not really what they want to hear. Is my sense, but you never know. Maybe they watched it. Anyway, that was a mistake to comment. I'm going to try not to do that anymore. It's a church. Eh? It's like a religion, but not like an old one. I keep wanting to say, hey, listen, if I wanted to join a religion, I'd become an Anglican or a Catholic or a Buddhist. Would be probably most appropriate for this land. Yeah. But, yeah. Anyway. That's what I think it is. It's like, it has all the flavor of a religious cult. All the words, right? BIPOC, white supremacy, intersectional, non-binary, binary, so yeah, it's a religion I'm not interested in. But I have heard a few people just suggest that, because the problem with the whole supremacy thing, because that's being thrown around a lot in, I think, North America, but maybe the English-speaking world generally, which is usually where a lot of this stuff spins out of control, I think. Australia, UK, Canada. But how's this for a consideration? Is it white supremacy, or is it just dominant culture, right? And I don't know. Why am I even talking about this? Look where I'm sitting, for God's sake. Oh. We've had a lot of rain. Yeah, anyway, dominant culture. Like, if you go live in China for a couple of years, you go, oh, it's not Chinese supremacy, it's just the dominant culture, right? And then you have to deal with it. I'm not saying it's all good at all, in fact. I think by calling it a dominant culture, then it opens you up to examining it at a deeper level, right? That's how I look at it anyway. I'm gonna let it go. It doesn't even affect me hardly. Because the dominant culture here is Thai, right? But we've been having a fair bit of rain. Fair bit. Had a huge storm. And the storm must have created a real opening. I think it broke a branch that I had tied one of my tarps to. And it created a really big opening in my roof. My water coming in. You don't want that. Water outside the house, good. Water inside the house, not good. When I moved in, there was a leak in the roof. This is a hard one to fix, actually, because I don't go up on the roof, right? I throw tarps over. It's a big, tall house, and what I do is I have these ropes, and I tie bricks or rocks to it and throw them over the other end of the house, and then go to the other side of the house and pull it down. It's really fun, but it's arduous. But I like it because it's arduous, right? Life is supposed to be difficult. Do you not know that? Yeah. So anyway, that big hole, so I ended up buying a tarp and worked on that. I did it yesterday. It didn't take me too long. But it's good though. Everything's doing well with the roof, right? And it gave me a nice chance to have a look at the roof, actually, because what I do is the house is on a hill, right? So the house at the front is really high up. Like on the first floor, it's, I don't know how high, 15 feet, 20 feet. And then the back is almost, it's like this much high off the ground. So I went to the back to look it up and fix it and all that. But it gave me a chance to have a look at the roof, right? And you can see there's stuff growing on it. Plants and moss and dirt's building up. And that's part of the roof fixing itself, I think. Mother Nature is helping me. When I first got here, though, I mean, I couldn't access all the roof areas, but a lot of the roof areas I kind of pushed all the dirt and stuff off. Oh, it should be clear, it'd be work better. It's like, oh, actually that was probably a bad idea. I probably just should have left it. But anyway, when I first got here, there was one section where water was coming in right inside, right down a column. So I did manage to fix that. And now it's being diverted outside the house, so it goes down the wall. The water drains down off the roof, and I put some tarps and plastic there, and now it gets diverted to the outside, and that's totally fine, right? Or more or less. Yeah. And so I think I'm good though. It's so wild. Like when the rains first come, the kitchen is just like, not every part of the kitchen is flooded with rain, but there's certain areas that are just like totally wet and it's draining down the floor. And now, the last rain, there was like a couple drops. It's amazing. But of course, everything is really damp now. Yeah. But right now, it's so beautiful. Not clear skies, but partly blue, partly cloud. I don't think it'll rain today. It might a little, but oh, it's a contrast, right? Yeah. I really don't know what to say today. I was sort of angry, eh? I was walking up the road, and I don't do this here, what I'm about to say. But there was just walking by, and there's a big car parked, all black, like super tinted windows you can't see in or anything. It bugs me anyway. But and I was just there, and they're getting ready to go, I walk by them and just smile, and there's a passenger in the back door, and they open the door and they just throw some junk out onto someone's yard. And I literally went, what the fuck? You just come, anyway. And then I went on with it. Because, anyway. It's not so, like those kind of confrontations, you just, best not to get into in general, but here for sure. But I just gave him what, Anyway, I've seen that a few times, right? People come up here, throw the garbage in the bush, but I don't know. Don't know what to say. Yeah. Wow, there's some serious buzzing going on around here. But they're moving so fast. I can't tell what they are. Anyway, whatever. Oh, they're bees. There must be a nest near here. And they're coming after me, but they're not biting me though. Okay. Now, one's on my hand. Don't bite me, don't bite me. Why would it bite me, right? I'm not trying to hurt it or anything. Okay, anyway. This is another one of those water walks where I go, there's nothing here. I probably won't post it. And then often I do. Maybe it's important to post the stupid ones as well as the good ones. Or the less stupid ones. Anyway, yeah. Okay, maybe I'll do some walking. Okay, should we walk along the beautiful... What the hell is this? That's weird, there's a pipe right... This must be... Huh, that's weird. Oh well. Things are weird. Yeah. So dominant culture, eh? Oh, it's so complicated. And the energy is so high. There's really no... I mean, I'm not gonna say no. There's lots of people speaking on the moment, you know, and I think, in my opinion, reasonably, but obviously we all have our biases, right? Yeah. It's an interesting thing about bias, though, eh? Bias, racism, prejudice, all that. They're all in the same realm, I would say. Although at the moment, racism is elevated, and I don't know what people are thinking, if it's different or what, but I've had this thought a lot. Okay, so, because every now and then, on social media, and social media is driving all this, it seems, right? Maybe it's not a good thing after all. Well, some good things. Anyway, often I hear, it's time to end racism, right? Like, well, yeah, that'd be nice. But let's change that. Let's change the word to prejudice and bigotry, right? Because then it's more encompassing, and the word is different, right? Because right now the word is the thing. But listen, I think that you can't do it. You can't end bigotry and prejudice, right? There's always going to be some, right? And part of it is biological. We're born and we create biases and prejudices, right? We just do it automatically, and a lot of the times they're good things, right? We have okay, this is where our line is, this is how we are as a society, culture, whatever, right? And so quite often they're helpful, right? They help to define a place, define a culture, but also, of course, they can go completely off the wall, which, you know, definitely could argue that the situation of the police and the states and maybe some other places too, and that kind of power structure, maybe, that's a tricky word now too, right? Power. Definitely some issues and things need some fixing up, I suppose. But the thing is, my main point is, like, I always want to say, we must end racism now. It's like, well, you can't end it. You can't finish. It can't be non-existent, right? But the pertinent part to that, to me, is that not only can you not do it, but you wouldn't want it, right? Because if your society's in a situation where you can claim, we have no racism, we have no racism, it's like, yeah, that's not a society you want to live in. I don't think. That's like Cultural Revolution China. That's like Stalinist Russia. That's like Stasi East Germany, right? It's... okay, that's hyperbole. I like saying it that way, hyperbole. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh boy. I don't like that. When I see something long moving, I'm like, whoosh! Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Jesus Christ, what am I on this video? Yeah, but here's the thing about snakes. We'll go into snakes now. It's much more interesting and pertinent in this part of the world. You know, we had snakes growing up where I grew up in southern Ontario. They're little garter snakes, right? They're really little, and even if they bit you, you probably hardly even feel it. And I never got bit by one. And we'd like chase them all over the place. Terrible little kids. Anyway, we never killed one though. I don't think we ever did. Anyway, so I didn't grow up with them in a big way. Not like, say, someone that lives in the mountains or the countryside in Thailand, say, where snakes are a big deal, right? Really big deal. I remember at one point I was wandering around. This was when before I actually lived here, but I was coming here to spend significant lengths of time, right? Like 4 or 5 months at a time. And I'd be like going to a park or something, and there'd be like 4 or 5 people sweeping walkways, like with the brooms, right? Sweeping leaves and stuff. It's like, well, that's kind of interesting, you know. But then it dawned on me fairly quickly. It's like, oh, this is at least in part. I mean, it looks nice, but the root of it, I think, must be about snakes and sort of nasty, some of the nastier insects, you know? Because a lot of the snakes look like a pile of leaves, like those Malayan pit vipers and stuff. Or they look like a green leaf, right? Those vipers, the red tail. Yeah, but here's the thing. Now, even this short time, almost 6 years living here, there's this, I've heard Peterson talk about, and other biologists, or not that he's a biologist, but and biologists talk about this really ancient fear of snakes, and something in our vision sees them, right? So when I see a snake move, it's just instantaneous. It's astounding, right? That's why I'm always a cultural, biological mixed. Humans are cultural mixed with biology, right? In varying degrees. Because that's totally biological, right? That kind of reaction. Completely. Anyway, yeah. So luckily, I don't run across snakes very often, hardly ever. I give them a wide berth. But yeah, so that makes you think, oh, that goes back millions of years, that reaction, right? That human eyesight might not be the best. It's not like a hawk, but it's better than a bear. You're somewhere in the middle, I suppose. But it seemed to me obvious that, oh, that kind of vision is really deeply embedded, you know. So now when I see a little, like a stick on the walk, like I just did, I think I might have nudged it with my foot, and just through my peripheral vision, I thought it do, whew, like that. It was like boom, instantaneous, you know. Stop. I stopped. Briefly stopped. And that's what you do, right? How about the legend of Medusa? You know, can't remember the full details of the story, but I think the gist of it is Medusa's like the woman with the snakes and the hair, right? And when you look at Medusa, you turn into stone. You freeze, right? You just freeze. And I remember as a kid seeing some movie, we're at a camp, we went to summer camp a couple years, and some movie, and I was just like, Medusa was part of this crazy movie. Anyway, I was so completely pulled into this character, you know. Anyway, yeah, so Medusa, snake in the hair, makes you turn to stone. Generally speaking, you see a snake, you're like, you just right, see what's up, what's going on. then continue on. I'm sure there's lots of people that hear a snake and then instantly jump on it, right? Or see a, does they hear a snake? See a snake and instantly jump on it, you know, because the big snakes would be quite tasty. That's some dangerous food gathering, I'd say, in some cases. Anyway, or risky. I don't know about dangerous. Is it dangerous? Is it dangerous to hunt down a king cobra? Nice 15-foot king cobra. Feed the family for a couple of days. That's for sure. Anyway. Yeah, see what I mean? This is a really weird water walk. Oh man, let's switch it. Enough of me, eh? That, eh? Holy. You know, after a good length of time, with gray darkness and rain and... Get off me, little bugger. Bees are still following me. Get away. Asshole. Bish, bish, bish. I don't like that. Maybe I smell good. Maybe I smell like a flower today. No. No, definitely not. Anyway. Yeah, look at this beautiful day. Right in it. It's one of those water walks where I'm unfocused. Unfocused. Meandering. A little agitated coming up. See. Look at the pipe. That's a big pipe. It goes down there. Look at how steep that is. Boy, you don't want to fall down. It's deceiving, you know. It looks so soft with all this vegetation, right? But man, you did one bad slip here, you just roll down. I guess you'd hit some trees and then stop. Yeah. It's looking like we have a few days of clear-ish weather. Maybe I'll go up the mountain tomorrow or the day after. Okay, well anyway, I really don't know if I'll post this one. It's too weird. Anyway, we'll see. I hope everyone's doing well. Things seem to be opening up. Hopefully the virus thing doesn't kick in again. I know some are worried about that, and maybe rightly so. Right? Anyway, à la prochaine, and cheers, and see you on the flip side.